Hello, welcome to Galactic Initiative. I'm your host, Jeff. Today I explore a crucial scene in 1999's Episode 1, young Anakin Skywalker's rejection by the Jedi Council. It is crucial because it established Anakin's uneasy affiliation with the Jedi Council and planted the seeds of distrust that Palpatine would cultivate later. Did Anakin's fall to the dark side begin in that moment? Qui-Gon Jinn believed in the living force, the energy field generated by all living things. He looked no further into the future than the present, maintaining a narrow focus on interpreting and carrying out the will of the Force. The Jedi Master rejected notions of luck or chance. He knew the Force created balance and direction for the galaxy's benefit. All one needed to do was listen. At times, his devotion compelled him to act, and he never feared failure or judgment with the Force as his ally. In fact, he struggled to comprehend how, when it was clear, other Jedi refused to walk the true path. Some called him arrogant, unpredictable, and argumentative for his self-assurance and seeming impulsiveness. Many of his actions led to disagreements with members of the High Council. Qui-Gon's apprenticeship with Master Dooku, excellence in knighthood, journey to mastery, and training of a Padawan more than qualified him for a seat on the Council. But his willingness to challenge its leaders on a whim delayed his inclusion, which, in truth, meant nothing to him because the Force, not other beings, would decide his fate. Master Dooku had pointed out the shortcomings of the Jedi Code long before he left the Order. Qui-Gon rejected the Council's offer when it finally came, preferring to follow the living Force rather than dogma. Days ago, Qui-Gon encountered a vergence or concentration of Force energy around a young boy named Anakin Skywalker. His mission to settle a trade dispute brought him to the 9-year-old's home planet of Tatooine. Not an accident. Nor was the event that followed. The boy's remarkable victory in the Bunta's Eve pod race that facilitated the repair of Queen Amidala's starship and freed Anakin from bondage. As soon as Qui-Gon reached the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, he recommended Anakin for testing by the Council. During that exchange, Qui-Gon indicated the boy had no father, and his midi-chlorian count, the scientific measure of his ability to channel Force energy, was so high that he must be the Chosen One, foretold by the holocron of prophecies. A Chosen One shall come, born of no father, and through him will ultimate balance in the Force be restored. Would the Council grasp the boy's potential? Would they comprehend his destiny? Or would they rigidly adhere to their age and training restrictions? The Jedi Master decided he would train Anakin with or without the Council's approval, and its skepticism of the foretold and resistance to meeting the boy suggested the latter. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan argued about Anakin's future while the Jedi leaders reluctantly performed an evaluation. In the High Council tower above them, the Jedi Council began to question Anakin. Without preliminary introductions or explanations, without expending any effort at all to make him feel comfortable or welcome. The boy demonstrated impressive ability. Yoda and Mace Windu exchanged nods and glances. Anakin's connection to the Force was no longer in doubt. However, the boy's destiny remained clouded. The Masters sensed Anakin's loneliness and anxiety, paths to the dark side. When they announced their misgivings about the fear of losing his mother, Anakin's reaction spoke volumes. "What has that got to do with anything?" he snapped. Yoda recited the route from fear to suffering as the child regarded him. Where was compassion for a kid forced to choose between his mother and his freedom days prior? Some council members seemed indifferent. Others were condescending. Following a period of deliberation, Anakin returned to the council chamber with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Though he could not fully understand the reasoning, the boy suffered the council's rejection announcement while glaring at Mace Windu. Foreshadowing. Qui-Gon did not hide his contempt. He stepped forward and, as benefactor, placed his hands on Anakin's shoulders. The boy heard the long-haired Jedi Master defend him and call him the Chosen One. But his dreams of becoming a Jedi and seeing the galaxy shattered, and he wished to see his mother again. Qui-Gon told her he would become a Jedi. What had gone wrong? He felt shame. Had he failed the test? Remarkably, despite his disappointment, the selfless, innocent boy worried about becoming a problem for Qui-Gon. So began the contentious relationship of Anakin Skywalker and the Jedi Council. A 9-year-old separated from his only parent and flown across the stars to the galaxy's most powerful assembly, faced tests and critical observations rather than warmth and understanding. Unlike Qui-Gon, Padme, Jar Jar, and Rick, who showed interest and enthusiasm, the Jedi Masters who questioned him appeared bored and skeptical, nothing like his imaginings. Perhaps the tower's environment benefited a certain species, or perhaps his vulnerability affected more than his emotions. Either way, he suffered terrible cold, and no one moved to help him with a blanket or robe. This assessment experience stuck with Anakin for life. He never completely forgave the members for their inhospitality. His subsequent wish to join the council came not from reverence but from envy. He wanted greater power and, most importantly, access to all Jedi archives, where information to save Padme might reside. Only Masters were granted full access. In Revenge of the Sith, his anger over the Council's decision to let him sit without the rank of Master was understandable considering the Archive's dilemma, but the movie omitted the plot point. How the lives of so many were destroyed by the dogma of so few. If the Jedi leaders just opened their library. Hasbro released 7 young Anakin action figures in Episode 1's premiere year of 1999. Another in 2000, and another in 2004, with one of the 6 Jedi Council 3-packs that, when assembled, form a playset of the Council chamber. Each box contains a cardboard backdrop with a view of Coruscant's skyline. To date, I count 14 young Anakin figures. The schismatic Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn has spawned 26 action figures. Not bad for a one-film character. A few of the High Council members make popular toys. Yoda, obviously. According to my research, across all films and shows, 61 action figures. Mace Windu with 30. Plo Koon has 13. 9 for Ki-Adi-Mundi. Please tell your council about this channel if you liked the video, and consider subscribing to Galactic Initiative.
Galactic Initiative is not authorized or endorsed by Lucasfilm Limited. The name Star Wars and all related materials are registered trademarks of Lucasfilm Limited, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, all rights reserved. Galactic Initiative is a registered trademark, and other product and company names are trademarks of their respective holders. Use does not imply affiliation or endorsement.